Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. You're going to continue the Agartha Singularity. Epic of Remnant. We are in the Nightless City, where men are used as servants, and if they disobey, they are tortured horrifically. We must liberate them, because we're fighting a bunch of assassins. Let's give Penthesilea another shot. Why not? Why not? She's glorious. Let's roll. Yeah, try again. Idiot. Okay, I don't see any enemies nearby. I think we're good for now. I'm so sorry for all this trouble. Don't worry, I'm not mad. At any rate, a lot has happened since we came here, but thanks to you two, we did manage to learn more about this city. In fact, given that what things are like, something like this may have been unavoidable. I agree. Now we know about the torturers, the subjects, and what life is like for men there. Hello! Things may be different from how they were in Ease, but men are still treated as lesser beings here. They are controlled by an incredibly severe set of laws, and offenders are subject to extremely harsh penalties, enacted by the torturers. It's horrible. It's just as terrifying as it was in the last city. I might never have believed just how terrifying it was if I hadn't seen it for myself. Watching Cards Against Humanity? I don't blame you. There are no words to describe just how awful the torturers are. Oh hey, so who's this guy anyway? This man agreed to help us after we ended up saving him. He says he can no longer return to their society. You people really are incredible. I still can't believe you stopped a torturer's execution and brought that guy back with you. He's missing a hand, and he's lost a lot of blood. We can try to staunch the bleeding, but I don't think if he'll even... I don't know if he'll even last the night. I'm not sure that matters. Security's super tight, so it won't be easy for us to leave. Plus, we can't keep Ryder and the Resistance waiting outside for us forever. You're right, we need to settle this today. Indeed, we must defeat the Empress and free this entire city. So I would ask you, can you tell us where we can find the assassin who rules the Nightless City? You've been living in this city for some time now, right? You must have some idea where she could be. I'm afraid not. Men are the lowest rung of society here. We're no more than laborers for the women. The only reason you see us walking side by side is because the women have permitted it. If I'm being perfectly honest, we are just slaves. Slaves. As long as we obey the law, men and women are on equal footing here, at least on paper. But basic human rights, things like free speech and such, all belong to women. I'm gonna laugh. What, watching his Uno videos? In the court, two opposing men can expect a fair trial, but if it's a man and a woman, the law almost always sides with the woman. We have no real freedoms when we eat, when we sleep. Our lives are regulated. Naturally, we don't get to choose where we go or what we see either. So I really have no idea where the Empress could be. At this point, we'll settle even for rumors. Rumors, huh? In that case, well, I don't know if there's anything to it, but I've heard that there's some sort of underground facility here. But of course, no one, not even prompter subjects, can just walk in. You have to be a torturer, or higher, to even have a hope of that. An underground facility exclusively for big shots? Sounds perfect for villains' hideout. How would one go about entering this place? Where is it located? I told you, it's just a rumor. I have no idea how much of it is true, if anything. That said, I do remember a guy telling me how a torturer suddenly showed up out of nowhere right in front of him. He thought he was going to die. She wasn't just walking about either. He said that one moment she wasn't there, and the next, she was. So if that place exists, there might be a secret underground entrance to it, near where that happened. Let's check it out. Did he tell you where this happened? If not, can you take us to this guy? As luck would have it, he really did die after he got reported for something else. What a sick joke. Still, I do have an idea of where it was. It's a place you're all familiar with, too. Huh? It's behind the plaza with the execution scaffold you all just left. We're gonna go there. It's very quiet now. Maybe that's because it's almost morning? Huh. I would have thought the city would still be up in arms looking for us. Guess not. If we knew things had quieted down this much, maybe we could have escaped after all. Maybe. But that wouldn't do us any good. I believe this was the correct choice. For that matter, things may have quieted down here because they thought we had escaped and are concentrating their search outside accordingly. I too believe this was the correct choice. So what do we do now? Do we wait around here for the torturers to come out? Or take the risk of looking around ourselves? There's no telling when they might come out. Okay, he said it was behind the scaffold, right? Gotta be quiet now. You know, I am pretty sure I've said this before, but this place sucks for covert ops. There's so much light. It's impossible to sneak through the shadow. Is it just me, or is it getting even brighter around here? Oh no! It's a trap! I mean... Who could it be now? Welcome to my castle. Oh yes. Hunyang. On second thought, I'm already tired of that name. From now on, I'll call you Shigo, or Wet Dog, since you evidently love to slink through the shadows. That's the assassin of the Nightless City. Oh no. Look around at the plaza. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. It's an ambush. We're completely surrounded. But how did they know where we... Don't blame me for this. If you have a chance to report someone, you take it, get rewarded, and raise your status as a citizen. That's what you have to do to survive in here. We don't have a choice. I mean, do you guys really believe you have a chance of bringing down the Nightless City? Because I sure as hell don't. Once I heard you had other allies here with you, I thought I'd get a better reward if I sold you all out together. So I've just been biding my time. I see. Now I finally understand what Ryder meant. This city truly is home to nothing but dogs. Dogs are a traditional symbol of bravery for the Ulster clan, but these are something else entirely. Hey, you'll let me serve a high-class subject now, right? I'll be guaranteed a safer life than I had before now, right? Indeed. You did well to inform us of our guests. You will receive your reward as promised. That's great. However, your manner toward your Empress is quite insolent, and you clearly lack dignity. Take him away. Let's see now, 20 lashes ought to be enough to improve his poor attitude. I am not into lyrical Nanoha at all, to be honest. I haven't even started it. And some hot water torture to boil off one or two of his faces while you're at it. One of his two faces? Go on, be off with you. I think that's more of an expression. No, please! Ah! Ba-dum, ba-dum. Wah, wah, wah. Now then, it would be unbecoming not to show my guests a proper welcome. As such, you are all invited to join me at my castle. So you'll let us into your underground facility? An underground facility, eh? I suppose that isn't entirely inaccurate, but no. I simply keep it buried underground as a matter of course. It would cause my subjects no end of emotional turmoil if I were to constantly grace them with my noble presence, after all. It is the mark of a truly excellent ruler to erase all trace of herself so as to not overwhelm her subjects. So I, of course, am no exception. However, now that we have guests to welcome, it won't do to have the Nightless City's true form hidden away like this. Behold! What's that, tactician? That would be both dangerous and pointless, you say? You fool. The point is to shock the living daylights out of them. They shall be so agape, their eyes might well pop right out of their heads. I have to see that for myself. Now, let us ignore my silly tactician's advice and try this again. Behold the Nightless City's true form. An earthquake? No, this is something else. The scaffold is cracking open. Something enormous is rising out of the ground. I can't believe it. Ah! It's a big Asian castle. It's a castle. It's even brighter than the rest of the city combined. Who thought that was a good idea? Hello! How you doing? This is the heart of the Nightless City. Its brightest shining star. I call it Yao Guang Hall, or the Hall of Divine Light, a perfectly fitting name. To be perfectly honest, I've been waiting for someone with spirit to show up so that I could finally show it off. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I can't make use of the mechanisms I had put in place to make it appear like this on a whim, after all. Now then, I shall have a feast prepared in your honor while I await you in my castle. Feel free to frolic with my attendants as you make your way here. Attendants? Oh crap, she must mean all the torturers coming out of the entrance. So we have torturers guarding the gate before us, torturers surrounding our escape route behind us. What would you have us do, Master? Full speed ahead! Now you're talking! I'm glad to hear that. It's part of my gash, to never turn down an invitation to a feast. Now that the assassin has invited us to one, I was prepared to go all by myself if you had declined. She invited all of us, after all. Woo! Right, let's go, Master. The assassin is almost in reach. I don't know why I'm playing the James Bond theme. Alright, Penthesilea. Let us see what you got. That took no fucking damage. These guys remind me of the knights in Camelot. They're just big HP sponges that are just a pain in the ass. They beat me with their fucking batons. Probably would have been better to bring an AoE with me if I think about it, but I like my pen. Let's see. Can do a triple Merlin, that's beneficial. Let's do it! Because Merlin will hopefully heal us in times of need. Raining outside? Yeah, mine goes back and forth. Sometimes it'll rain like crazy, and other times not.
王の話をおのいいとも。星の宇宙に物見の無手楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者の通るがいい。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
Rain's alright. It sucks for me because Kana is afraid of thunder. So I feel really bad when it happens. She goes and hides behind the toilet, which is probably the safest place in the entire apartment. You just... you know what? We can't have that now, can we? Sama Senpai Chan Dono in chat. That's quite the loaded one. Stupid son of a bitch just wailed on me. Alrighty. Well, that sucks. Let's put on an... Actually, no. Well, let's go ahead and inflict the stun on this douchebag. And then go back to what I was doing. That'll do. That should kill him off. Fuck you up. Okay, now we have to kill you. We absolutely must kill you. Let's try to use my Noble Phantasm on your sorry butt. We'll do that out. Actually, no, I can do that. Increase the Buster card effectiveness of you. You are now hyper, supremely overpowered. There's no reason that this should not completely obliterate your sorry butt. Go, my sexy Amazon! Kill! Cool, so that worked. You're dead. And you fuck up this guy. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Love it. Alright, Ben. I like you. I love you. I love Lamb. Okay, and then there's the 162,000. Should I do a triple waiver? Yeah, I'll do a triple waiver. Waiver. Ibaraki's fine. Pretty hardcore triple waiver, or Merlin. Let's do it. What, with all the blood? Oh, it's just a mailman, Kana. It's just a mailman. Silly Cory. She's so sweet. Triple Buster. It's gonna be intense. Your FP of friend point slave. That didn't kill you. God damn it. Oh well. This does. Now I got plenty of crit. Oh my god. Ugh. Encoding overloaded? What? Why? Pain in the ass.
あったあったあった。久しぶりの運動は応えるね。
I'll fix the lag. Give me a sec. I don't get it. Looks like I have to change all the settings and try again. Why it's saying encoding overloaded, it did just fine the other day. Let's hope that works. Sorry about that. I've got my graphics card recording the video while I've got my processor streaming the video. I hope that does the job. Which is annoying, because it means I'm going to have to patch together my, my upload. These must be your personal chambers. Indeed. How good of you to come, Shigo. A loli whose bra is literally a ribbon. Literally a ribbon, like a tiny little ribbon in a bow. Just barely covering what seemed to be non-existent nipples. Oh my gosh. Confirmed. That's the assassin of the Nightless City, but who's that next to her? Another servant reading? Be careful, Master. Oh yes, I suppose you wouldn't have met, would you? Very well, you may introduce yourself. All right. I'm a caster servant. I serve as a tactician here in the Nightless City. Another woman, but she seems so uncomfortable. And her eyes, they're so sad. It's as though she's scared of everything. Oh, a tactician. And here I thought you were the type to lead a nation, a touch more whimsically. Don't be ridiculous. The best rulers are those who know how to handle... or how to make use of their subjects. I take great pride in my choice of adjutants. Skilled underlings deserve to be valued, to be given the sort of work that suits those skills. I am an unrivaled judge of talent. I would go so far as to say that not even the great Xin Shi Huang or my ancestor Liu Bang can surpass me. Case in point, it was all thanks to Castor's clever planning that I was so easily able to drown those filthy rats in Ys. Ha ha ha! You must be the Castor Dahut mentioned. I'm afraid it's true. I did once serve Ys. But if I had stayed there, well, I didn't want to die, so... Dahut pursued hedonistic pleasure to its absolute extreme. She never planned for the future, but always chose to live purely for the moment. Castor tried to warn her over and over, but that lust-crazed wench refused to listen. In time, she realized that Ys would one day come to an ignominious end? Huh, never heard that word. And decided to come work for me. And I am truly grateful for your compassion, Your Highness. Speaking of which, what do you think of my Nightless City? It's nothing like all the beautiful pile of planks that used to be Ys, right? Honestly, they're both pretty horrible. Indeed, I knew you'd say as much. What? Whoa, she just fell right off her throne and face-planted. Just like in my cartoons. Oh, she sure popped right back up there, though. Absurd. You must be lying to me. That there's no other reason you would say such a thing. You couldn't possibly fail to see its splendor after witnessing it firsthand. I cannot believe otherwise. Whatever your original purpose in coming here, you should have seen enough of my city even before I granted you an audience to recognize its brilliance. I'll have to see Elena again. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for coming in. If anything, I was certain you would arrive. Prostrate yourselves before me, and beg me to let you live in my glorious city. Don't you agree, tactician? Yes, of course. I couldn't agree more. Agartha's fun. I can see she's doing her best to avert her eyes. Hey, we're the ones who can't believe what we're hearing. How could you be proud of this glowy mess? You need to ask? The answer is blindingly obvious. This city is light itself. Where there is light, there is justice. Thus, the city is overwhelmingly just. In fact, it is a city but with nothing but justice. This is utterly absurd. You have torture openly displayed. The men your women keep are terrified of it, and rightly so. People rat each other out left and right. Nobody can trust anyone else, let alone speak their minds freely. Well, of course. I strongly encourage my subjects to report any transgressions they witness after all. To be fair, though, that tiny little top is probably the skimpiest I've seen Fate pull off so far. Shaktololi ain't got nothing on this. What? If anything, I would distrust the ones who don't. Evil should not be hidden. Crimes should not be covered up. They should say something the moment they so much as sense a wrongdoing afoot. That way, the loyal torturers can take over and compel the offender to come clean. There was so much wrong with that, I don't even know where to start. Just off the top of my head, what about false accusations or misunderstandings? A system like that would surely incentivize people to falsify reports in order to kick others down. Never. That sort of thing only happens in other, lesser nations. In a truly just nation, one that holds itself to highest standard, there can be no mistakes, and certainly no false accusations. Nor any who would misuse the reporting system for their own ends. Such things would simply never happen, says the Me Tooers, unfortunately. It's like, you know what? You know what? That's not justice. It's not. You have to investigate. You have to. Well, they sure as hell exist here. The Nightless City is still young. As such, some growing pains are to be expected. But as my methods spread and take root, this city will quickly grow to closer to that ideal. Nonetheless, with all of that said, even you cannot deny that my city is far more peaceful and orderly than Ys or El Dorado. Surely you saw for yourselves how brightly it glitters. That is all the proof you could possibly need to know that my reign is good and proper. Under my rule, evil will die out, the strong will assume responsibility and flourish, and the weak will serve as their foundation. What could possibly be wrong with that? Even a child could see the simple truth of this path. In one sense, she's right. That would be a strong manner in which to lead a country, but... Here, I'll spell it out for you. In a nation where everyone holds themselves to the highest standards, reporting wrongdoings is the perfect approach. With all of my subjects vigilant, there will be no tolerance for evil of any kind, no matter how small. Eventually, that approach will lead to the end of evil entirely. And so the goal of proper conduct is precisely what will set people on the correct path. This is basically Light Yagami's approach, if you really think about it. What breaks you hot? I don't know if this is the best way to say this, but you're wrong. You're just wrong. Even if that did make evil disappear and no more crimes ever took place. Ooh. Yay! Thank you for the cheer. I can't imagine the people who live here could ever smile. I agree, that's not true peace at all. Yeah. I don't know who that voice belongs to, but she was clearly dissing me. How dare you? None of you has even the slightest self-control, and it's not just you. All of humanity is like that. You all need to learn to endure the most arduous hardships, to work hard and study with diligence. As long as one builds character like that, evil will never take root in their minds. In time, there will no longer be a need for transgressions to be reported. And yet, you dare to criticize my rule, and in my presence, Caster, what is the punishment for this heinous crime? I don't think we have a punishment for this particular crime, but if we add this to the bothering me for no specific reason category, then the punishment would be your highness to torture them yourself, and then life in prison. Yes, that will do. Very well then. I shall first torture you myself. Then you can begin your new life rotting in my dungeon. However, since I am nothing if not merciful, I shall call in my best torturers, those who can compel anyone to speak the truth. In effect, I shall make it easier for you to repent and confess your true feelings. Namely, I beg your forgiveness. Your Nightless City is actually super awesome. I was just so shy I couldn't come out and say that before. Not that that will lessen the severity of your sentence, of course. I'm afraid that not even a nation's ruler can bend its laws once she has made them. Caster, you will assist me. If these people are truly foolish enough to fail understanding the righteousness of my path, they will have come here with the goal of destroying my city. If they succeed, you will not escape unscathed. And it seems I have no choice. I don't want to die, so I will fight. Yeah! Great! A whole bunch of those torturers again. We may still have many interlopers to deal with, but we are also finally within reach of our goal. We cannot let this chance go to waste. You're up against an assassin and a caster. We still don't know their true names, so please be careful. Finally, the next battle. Alright. What am I working with here? I think we should do a triple quick. That'll make us super powerful for the next round. You got Hixes, huh? You are dead now. When in doubt, whip a berserker out. Wonder who I should focus on first. Wonder if the one of them has a, I don't know. Dude! Did you see that animation? Oh, legit! That was intense. Now, if only they didn't freaking seal their skills of all things, then I would have had a really good attack this round. You bitch! You bitch! Oh, it's because they're charmed. Oh, isn't it? Well. What can you do? Stop chopping them up into little pieces. Did you just summon frickin' the genie? Did you just attack with the genie? That's crazy. Shit's crazy. Hooray for the book lily. If you stop charming me, I can do this. Oh, that took too much. Stop it! No! God damn it. Zerkers are too squishy. We can't have her die like that. What a pain in the ass. I was waiting for a good chance to strike. But so much for that. Alright, let's see here. What can I do differently this turn? Try this. Oh, that was enough to increase waivers thing? Shit. Okay. Let's do that then.
物理で殴るだけの戦いじゃオーセロとこれぞ大軍師の究極人士
Hit me with your best shot.
破ってみせ
Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
計略だ
Of course, it didn't stun either of them. I don't know the whole point. Stop it! God damn, the critical! The critical! That is insane. Beware of the power of that critical. Damn. I can't have that. That's bullshit. Instantly killed. From max health to 0 health in a single hit. I can't take that. It's just not fair. Let's go ahead and do this.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか
And then we'll try this.
物理で王の話をするとしよ
That should do.
これぞ大軍師の究極人士
It's not a hard fight, they're just getting real cheap shots off.
星の宇宙に物見の見て楽園の端から君に聞かせよう罪なき者の無効理
I was hoping for a nice triple attack.
罠だ
Okay, this was what I was waiting for. Would have been nice if it was a Buster combo, but I'll take what I can get. True Berserker and Strange Fake? Who'd that be? That does. Only 157k. That's so disappointing.
いいとも計略だ
山
ではでは つまらん
Alright, Scheherazade. Bye-bye. Actually, I don't know if this will kill you, but it'll certainly hurt. Yeah, I did kill you. That's what 100% crit Berserker Buster will do, I guess. I'll take it.
雨の多い季節ですね。カッキーンカッキーン。
This looks like the exact same fight again, to be perfectly honest. You're quite good. More's the pity, really. Why do you not understand? There was nothing wrong with my system of reporting. As long as people can hold themselves to a high standard, they can conduct themselves properly. Of course, they must put in the effort to do so, namely the effort to uphold my laws, to suppress their base desires. I understand that by virtue of being human, one will inevitably have desires. The desire to sleep when one walks, to eat what one talks, to be lazy, to even commit crimes. But it is only the suppression of those desires that will allow for a true and just nation to be born. Indeed, you Buddhist. In that sense, those fools in East were the polar opposite, since they explicitly sought out the pleasures that come from pure indulgence. And thus their destruction was assured. But not me, not Nightless City. Nightless City. Though some may remain here who cannot control their desires, they will be weeded out in due time. If one can apply oneself in a focused, dedicated manner, one is certain to walk with a moral and just path. Why can you not understand that? Moral people and a just nation, huh? So far as we can tell, this nation is a den of torture and cruelty. I wonder if it only seems like justice to you because of how above it you all are yourself. The more I learn about running nations, the harder it appears to... Stay alert. Some torturers still remain. I see. That is how I once obtained something I wished myself. I swore I would claim it, and worked hard to make my goal a reality. In essence, the moment I made my decision was also the moment in which I acquired the treasure I had been seeking my entire life. Indeed, that may be why I find myself in this form right now. Why did you always dream of being a loli? Treasure, huh? I got a buttload of that when I was alive, you know. Of course, I ended up either lending it out or giving most of it away. Oh, when one wants. I said walks, my bad. Fuck, I put walks in there. God damn it. I'm tired. I'm sorry. That was bad. That was really bad. What kind of treasure did you get? Do you wish to know? Your Highness, I don't think it's a good idea to... I take it that treasure was a country of your very own, Empress Regent. Ooh, thank you. Oh, it seems you finally have arrived at my name. I have had many titles, of course, but I am particularly fond of that one. You have good taste. Or is Empress regnant? Regnant? Is it regnant? I don't know. What do you mean, seriously? That is a pretty damn cool title. I won't hear a word claiming otherwise. Sorry for my absence. I've been focusing on analyzing the data, and I finally got an answer. Granted, she's been giving us plenty of hints from the very beginning, but her childish appearance didn't quite line up with everything. But now that you've fought her directly, we have much more accurate data to work with, and I'm certain of my conclusion beyond any doubt. Encouraging citizens to spy and report on one another, employing brutes known as torturers to go around hurting people and drag out undesired truths. And this Yaoguang Hall, the heart of the Nightless City. Well, it may not have been quite as flashy as this incarnation. The servant is still reported to have lived in a building of the same name. In other words, all of these are things she used while she was still alive. She's known as an empress here, right? That's not because she's the ruler of this city. It's because she really was an empress, What's more, she was the only empress in all of history to ever rule over China. A Chinese empress? She began her rise as a concubine to Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty. The Tang Dynasty, my god. And later married his son. You married your son, Gaozong, following Taizong's death. It's Gaozhong, my bad. Gaozhong following Taizong's death. She assassinated her rivals, steadily gained power, and eventually claimed the entire country as her own. She commanded her subjects to address her as Dowager, Empress Dowager, and later, Empress Regnant. If we believe her most popular name to be her true name, we have two to choose from. Zetian Wu Ho, or Wu Zetian. Oh? Well done, you're absolutely right. Oh no, now they know her true name. What? You're telling me that's a real empress? Who are you referring to as that? You little peach-haired hussy. Hussy? You know, I didn't like the look of you from the start. Well, no matter, I can deal with you later. Now then, since you know I am indeed a true empress, let me ask you, does that change your mind? There is no other city that shines as brightly as mine. With proper effort, all can lead a good life. If you swear to become my subjects, I may even change my mind about imprisoning you for life. Pass? This city may not look as horribad or rowdy as East, at least on the surface, but... Indeed, it only looks that way, and then only because its harsh lights prevent one from seeing it clearly. At its core, it is just as twisted and rotten as East. You can talk about your city's justice and propriety all you like, but in the end, you can't hide the fact that it is fundamentally lacking in both. As Mashu said earlier, it is the one clear truth of this place. A city where no smiles can ever be just. Where no smiles can never be just. Well said, Master. Of that much I'm absolutely certain. What fools you are. Such a pity. Clearly, both I and my city are simply too bright for rabble such as you. In that case, I won't force you to look. You may avert your gaze and remain in the dark. There is nothing more to do now, as there is no greater crime than refusing one's punishment. Now that it has come to this, your execution shall be carried out in a grand and ostentatious manner. Tactician, call my expecting subjects. Yes, Your Highness. In the name of Wu, I command you to be born. What are you summoning? Oh, you just... There's more of them now. It's just like what happened with the pirates in East. Oh, gross. Not again. Do not mistake me for a smug and foolish ruler. I know very well when to make use of others. However, I will say this. Two among you I will throttle with my own hands. That cat with the long fur, and the peach-colored hussy with the caddish air about her. Woo! Did she just call me that again? I can't stand cats. I shall cut off all your limbs myself and stuff you into a bottle for safekeeping. Damn. Phobeing a cat is debatable, but that doesn't matter. I'll never let you do that. Let's beat her, Master. Why are you hitting a little girl? Because she tried to strangle my cat. And called my concubine a hussy.
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。やるぞ、マスター。では、よし。いいとも。つまらん。お望みのままに。どうかな。罠。どうかな。 つまらんつまらん罠計略だ罠だ簡単すぎる
Damn, you hurt too much. Stop it! God damn. Just stop using berserkers if they're so fragile. Or switch them out at the last second, perhaps, when it's time to unleash a noble phantasm. You know, that's not a half bad idea. Keep them in the dark until you need them. Whip out your glass cannon. Yeah, I think I might just do that. But for now, I'll keep her safe. Bullshit. Bullshit. Everyone's hitting my glass. Amazon. You would think it wouldn't work that way, would you? Huh. I just want to Oh. Shit, I stunned the wrong... Actually, no, I did not. I did not. I stunned the correct one. Oh, is Akuma physically weak throughout the Street Fighter games? I never quite noticed that. If you could, like, not... Okay, good. Beat up Merlin all you want. He can take it. He's a big boy. I'm a big boy now.
星の宇宙に物見の歌楽園の端から君に聞かせよう罪なき者の向こうにあるガーデン・オブ・アバロンどうか
罠つまらん
迷うな
どうか
Shit. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see here, with a little bit of overcharge, stun, let's see what we can pull off here.
星の宇宙に物見の歌楽園の端から君に聞かせよう罪なき者の向こうにあるガーデン・オブ・アバロン
これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。破ってみせるが。
I'd like to see some big damage and do good. Certainly seems more than usual. Not that much. Damn it. Lame-o. We'll let Waver take care of the rest. Critical stars for the next batch. Okay, well, did not know she was gonna pull that shit. Let's see what the damage does. Probably gonna kill him. Didn't kill him. Nice. Nice, I'll take it. I will take it. That's pretty good. In the name of the moon, I will punish you.
物理で殴るだけの戦いじゃ。つまらん。仰せのとおり。これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。破ってみせる。罠。
Considering she tried to fucking surprise me with it, I'm not too upset.
簡単すぎる。
I'm just going on caster fever right now. Take it. Take it all. Nice. Shit, almost killed her. Wait, she got her Imperial privilege off. Okay, I have to take this chance. I'm gonna heal, or invincible everyone. This is too good of a chance to ignore for a triple buster. Get them, my ferocious queen of the Amazons! Woo! That was weak. Too weak. But it was the crit that I mainly used it for. So it worked out. Huh, and then you put on evade like that's gonna matter. Yep, goodbye. No? Shit. Shit! Oh. I thought that was going to kill you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Spaghetti. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think that killed you. She's weak as fuck. It's okay. It's okay. You got this. Bitch hanging on to 1,000 health. Shiki's at a disadvantage when it comes to the next opponent. I'm gonna switch you out for the King of Knights. There we go. There we go.
お望みのまま
物理で殴るだけの戦いじゃ
どうか
これぞ大軍師の究極人
It has been foretold that I'll play Tsukihime. I don't want to play Tsukihime.
どうか
ご存知の
お任せ夢のように片付けよう
では
はい、お任せいいですね。風よ、舞い上がれ。山場です。山場です。
So the youngins.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか
決着の時だ。
I wouldn't have to censor as much as
の時だ。
I did for Already Stay Night, so it's not that big a deal. Censor one, censor another.
王の話をするとしよう
決着をつけましょう。
星の宇宙に物見の無手楽園の端から君に聞かせよう罪なき者の無通りがいるガーデン・オブ・アバロン
束ねる星の息吹、輝ける命の本流。
Toasty toasty shares on.
最上に近い勝利戦う前に勝つくらいで負ける
I killed lawful servants. Do you see anything yet, Ryder? If you'd like, I'd be happy to take over the telescope for you and, never mind. That flashy castle that showed up out of nowhere must be the assassin's lair. Nothing of significance seems to have happened except that. That was some time ago, too. And still no smoke signals. I guess they've been fighting her inside as we speak. Do you think they can win? They'd better, or else we'll come out of we'll have come out all this way for nothing. Anyway, it's up to them now. All we can do is make sure we're ready to go in whenever we... What is it? We just got an urgent report back from the scouts, sir. What did they say? Well, from the west side of the Nightless City. You're kidding. Of all times. Ryder, I've got some bad news. I know, I've already heard the report. No, not that. There. Don't you hear it? Heracles. Oh, come on. And now we have to deal with that too? Damn it, how unlucky can we get? I wonder whose bad luck it is, mine or theirs. What do we do now, Ryder? You need to ask. We get ready to head in there the moment we see the signal. Now hurry. Now, what is Megalos from? Because I know it's Heracles being Megalos, but I'm not familiar with the story. Hmm? Hello? Did you freeze? That's suspicious. Did I just break the game? Mobile. Tisk tisk. Let's try this again now, shall we? There we go. Yeah, I froze it. You did it! No, she hasn't fallen yet. Tell me, do you know why I'm an Empress? Was I born into it? No, absolutely not. I was an ordinary girl, daughter of a lowly government official. After my father died and my relatives took me in, they would beat me merely to pass the time. There was but one reason why I rose from such lowly origins to sit atop all of China. Because I wished it, set my heart on it, and worked towards it. I studied books and martial arts, I learned the ways of charm and allure, I cast off everything I didn't need, and polished what I did to its utmost. I worked day and night, foregoing leisure and rest. I trained myself to ignore my relatives' distractions. And even once my beauty was recognized, and I was admitted into the Emperor's palace, I didn't stop. I killed the Emperor's wife, his concubines, so many others I quickly lost count. I used poison, cunning, power, everything at my disposal to kill all who stood in my way. Indeed, I rose through pure dedication, and it was the sole method that let me achieve my goals. And so I gained all of China as my prize, and I did so entirely on my own. This power she's giving off is immense, even after we have her cornered. So this is the strength of a true king. The spirit of one who ruled over a vast land and left her mark on history. Oh man, this is just like when Charlemagne gets all mad about something. I don't think we can touch her. I won't deny that you worked incredibly hard. Scratch that. Way to go, master. But a nation without smiles is an empty thing. I am told that when I was a baby, a monk prophesied that I would one day ascend to the highest domain. When I learned about this, I was furious at him for sticking his nose into my affairs. It was not providence that brought me to the top. I would never permit something like that to interfere with my endeavors. I stand here now of my own 2 feet. As such, I am the only one who decides when those feet will move. There was no one else who helped me get here, no others who were responsible for my success. There was no sage's admonition, no fool's blade, no impassioned entreaty pushing me upward. Thus, not even the heavens themselves can force me to kneel in defeat. Her spirit origin reading is in tatters. It looks as though it could disappear at any moment, and yet her presence is still so strong. Crap. He's charging straight in there. This isn't going to be pretty. Oh, did you just step on her? Oh, shit. What the? Holy sh... What just crashed through the ceiling? Look. Color edit Hercules. Spirit origin pattern match confirmed. I still can't believe it. That's one of the servants who went missing from Chaldea. Heracles, the legendary Greek hero. That one strike obliterated Wu Zetian's spirit origin. Or Zetian. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Heracles, no, wait. Something's wrong. He's huge. You're right. Our records indicate that he should be about 253 centimeters, just over 8 feet tall, but he's clearly far bigger than that. At least he saved us? Whoa! I think he tried to attack me. He just smushed that torture like a spiky pancake. He's huge and extremely strong, but how is he so fast? So he's just attacking everything in sight? Are you going to face him, Master? I'm afraid that fighting such a ferocious monster will only end in some of us or all of us dying. If you wish to fight him nonetheless, I will go alone. I may not be able to defeat him, but I should at least be able to stall him for a few minutes. Wait, you mustn't fight him, no matter how strong and your defense. A single strike would still end you. There's no way to know how her name's pronounced as far as we're concerned? Not necessarily. There are ways, like, Chinese is actually much more straightforward in reading. Caster, what do you mean by that? Do you know what's going on here? Why is Heracles so enormous? Please, sheathe your swords. I have no wish to fight. I surrender. That man is a rogue servant who appeared here in this underground world some time ago. He is a berserker in every sense of the word. He comes and goes at a moment's notice, leaving nothing but destruction in his way. He's more like a natural disaster than a person. He has no conscious mind, and of course, he cannot be reasoned with. He's destruction incarnate. Wait, was that what Ryder was warning us about before we came here? That's what he meant? Well, I'm sold. Seeing that makes not believing kinda hard. I am surprised you answered that so directly. Are you planning something else? No, I'm not. I just don't want to die now that Wu Zetian is gone. Furthermore, I believe our efforts would be best directed at escape. I can get behind that. We've accomplished our goal of defeating Wu Zetian. It seems she wasn't the demon god pillar either, but at least we managed to free this city. I suggest we get out of here and meet back up with the Resistance in order to discuss our next move. Good plan. Let's get out of here while that thing is popping torturers like bubble wrap. What's going on here? The Nightless City's subjects and torturers appear to be doing battle with the Amazons. The Amazons? Huh? The El Dorado forces. Of all the times for them to show up. This is pure chaos. If we don't find a way out of this city soon, we may end up fighting both forces at once. Oh great, look over there. We got even more enemies. No wait, that's... Grr. Mr. Positive Thinking himself. Sorry we couldn't wait around for the signal any longer. How'd it go? We managed to take down the assassin, Wu Zetian. But now we have two other big problems. The Amazons from El Dorado and the giant berserker wreaking havoc in the building behind us. Damn it. I was hoping I was mistaken about seeing him go in there. Well, no point in thinking about that now. One of those problems would be bad enough. We can't stay here long with both of them to worry about. There's a hell of a lot more of them than there are us. If we try to fight them head on, we'll be done for. Resistance, fall back! Are you sure? After coming all this way? As long as we can help you all escape, it's worth it. If you are all killed, that means you die. That could mean the end of the Resistance, too. But if we escape now, there'll be another chance. There always will be, as long as we don't give up. Thank you for risking your life to help us, Ryder. I wish I had a medal suitable to award your bravery. So, her voice lines don't necessarily work, because I've noticed that the Japanese pronounce Chinese names very differently than we do. Like if you play Dynasty Warriors in Japanese instead of the English dub, it's completely different. Like every name sounds like a completely different name. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. Aha, and I might take you up on that if a medal could fill your belly. Now come on, let's get going. Wait, don't go near the front gate. That's... The Queen! Damn it, of all the rotten luck. Oh man, we got berserkers for days here. And the big guy in the castle sounds like he's coming out. This is what they mean when they say between a rock and a hard place. What will we do now? Here she comes. She's so fast. Don't underestimate me. My sword is sworn to defend and protect. It cannot be broken through brute force alone. Please. I'll kill him. I'll kill him. I'll kill you! She just blew right past us. And right into the castle where Heracles is. What was that about? We can figure that out later. Just thank your lucky stars she didn't come after us. Now come on, let's go. The Nightless City, a city of bright lights. We're rattling one another. We're ratting one another out was strongly encouraged. If everyone conducts themselves properly, then no mistakes will be made, and peace and order can last forever. Such a nation would grow and flourish. But that isn't right. You can't just erase or suppress human desires entirely. If anything, I think it's those desires that make life worth living. If the majority of people suppress their desires, the country may well prosper, and the higher class subjects may well live happily. I don't know if Wu Zetian was aware of how the women here lived their lives. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Hey, cool, we got YouTube videos that'll do it.
Today we want to talk about Empress Wu Zetian and the...
Zetian. Oh. Wu Zetian. That sounds a lot better than what I was doing. Let me get a second opinion.
If you follow the teachings of Confucius, then a ruling woman goes completely against nature. As unnatural as a head, who became China's first and only empress. Wu Zetian didn't care much for Confucius, and so became China's first...
He says Wu Zetian, but I don't think that's right. Yep, Wu Zetian. That's not so bad. Wu Zetian. But for them, this nation was a happy place, as was East for the pirates. But of course, the same can't be said for the men who were treated as lesser beings. For them, both of these cities were places of terrible suffering. Is there no possible way to create a nation where all of its people can be happy? Earth to Fergus! Stop staring at the city and start moving your feet. Don't forget we still have to pick up that injured guy we hid away earlier. Oh right, sorry. Presuming that guy won't betray us. Well, it wasn't easy, but we all managed somehow to make it out of the Nightless City. We were still running away, desperately trying to put some distance between us and the city, when I heard a sound and looked back. There, I could see the largest building in the whole city, glowing impossibly bright as flames consumed it. Hooray! Ah! It was faint, but I thought I could see the two monsters fighting each other atop its roof. One of these monsters was, of course, the natural disaster. The other, hard as it is to believe, looked to be a smaller yet equally destructive disaster of a sort. I could just by seeing things, but I could have sworn they were evenly matched. Quartz, baby! True name revealed. Wu Zetian. Temporary retreat against archers. Ooh, we gotta bring a lancer. Vasavi Shakti, is that single target? All enemies. Alright, we'll keep you around. And then we'll switch you with Skach! Where's she hiding? There you go. I hate to admit it, but we've just taken one step forward and 2 steps back. I'm afraid so. We may have succeeded at defeating Wu Zetian and bringing down the Nightless City, but now the Amazons have taken it over instead, right? Right. We're still not quite sure what happened, but the men we left behind have reported back. After the natural disaster, the big guy ended his rampage. He disappeared as usual. And now the Amazons have taken over what's left of the city. I think we can do better than to keep referring to him as natural disaster or big guy. I say it's time we came up with a proper name for him. He may have originally been Heracles, but his spirit origin has changed dramatically. His output, durability, and even divinity are all much higher than usual. The first thing that comes to mind is to call him Giant Heracles. But since he once fought against the giants alongside the gods of Olympus, I don't think he'd be particularly thrilled about that. How about calling him Heracles Megalos, meaning huge hero Heracles? We could even shorten it and just say Megalos. I agree, I can't quite bring myself to refer to that servant as Heracles either. Megalos sounds like a good name to me. Anyway, after Megalos destroyed the city, and the Amazons came in and took over the remains, what happened to Wu Zetian's subjects? I'm told they lost their will to fight and meekly surrendered to the Amazons. Given how they reproduce, it's possible that they and the pirates are more like familiars than people. Which is to say they were created by their respective rulers and don't truly belong to this world. If that's true, it makes sense for them to simply submit to whatever ruler has assumed control. Submit, huh? I don't know if the Amazons were planning this or if it was just luck, but either way, they've ended up swooping in and making off with everything. Pisses me the hell off. We'll have to make sure to return the favor someday. Anyway, that aside. What's she doing here? Wasn't she the assassin's tactician? I couldn't just leave her behind. I mean, look at those boobs. I may not like the risk that represents, but I will say that sounds just like you, senpai.
Woo woo!
Is that Japanese dogeza? It is indeed. I know of it as well. I've never seen one performed so beautifully before. The angle of her head, the arrangement of her hands, I feel as though I'm witnessing a work of art. What are you playing at? I have heard that this is the ultimate apology, one that originates from a land known as Japan. I understand that, as this pose is performed with one's entire body, it allows one to show absolute remorse when pleading for one's life. Pleading for your life? Yes. I don't want to die, that's my only wish. You have defeated Wu Zetian, and so I'm surrendering to you. I believe that is the best option I have to ensure my survival. So please, I only ask that you spare my life. In return, I will do anything you want. You sure sound to be throwing around promises. You sure you should be throwing around promises? Like I'll do anything you want, so casually? Because a certain wolf in sheep's clothing may be looking for fleece. Your bodacious bod for himself. Why is everyone looking at me? Please stop looking at me like I'm some kind of wild animal. The other me might behave like that sometimes, but I never would. At any rate, I can understand how she feels. It's only natural to not want to die, especially for a woman who isn't a warrior. Caster, does that mean you want to be the Resistance's tactician now? I'm afraid that's all I can do. First you worked for Dahut in East. Then you betrayed her to go to Wu Zetian. And now you've come crawling to us, huh? I understand your reluctance to trust me. I don't blame you. But every action I've taken up to this point has stemmed from my desire to not die. That desire holds true even now, so I beg you again not to kill me. Please don't cast me out. I understand not wanting to die, but why would you be so scared of getting kicked out? If I were forced to leave here, I would have no choice but to go to the Amazons in El Dorado. Wait, I misspoke. I promise I didn't mean that as a threat. Oh no, this is terrible. Now my death is all but assured. I have to repent. So much jiggling! Can't look away! Huh. I've never seen Master look so lost in thought before. I wonder what she's thinking. If that was not a veiled threat to employ, what else? To employ you. That's quite the line. If that was not a veiled threat to employ you, else you take your services to our enemy, then what was it? I don't believe the Queen of El Dorado would have need of me. She would likely have me killed. So as I see it, I have three options. Either I die here, I am forced to leave, and the Amazons end up killing me, or I join you. As such, I must do whatever I can to gain your trust. I don't know, it's not something easily gained. If my promise to serve as your tactician is insufficient, perhaps I can give you a paizuri. Then I have nothing left to lose. As proof of my willingness to help, I will tell you my true name.
Woo!
I am Scheherazade, a caster in name only, whose sole talent lies in spinning tales. Aha! Scheherazade. Now your strange summoning act from before all makes sense. I have no idea who that is. Even if you don't recognize her name, I bet you've at least heard of the stories associated with her. Does 1001 Nights ring any bells for you? Or maybe the Arabian Nights? She's the meta character used to deliver every one of those stories. The brave daughter of the chief vizier. In the book, she tells a new story each night to stop a king from taking her life. Brave? No, there was nothing brave about it. I was just desperate to not die. I have read countless books and stories and acquired a fair amount of knowledge in the process. I believe that knowledge could be of use to you by helping to predict the enemy's next move, or to better assess the opportunities for you to make yours. Does that sound acceptable? Of course, if you have no need of such knowledge, and will kill me if I cannot demonstrate any other benefits of my continued presence, the only other thing I have to offer is my body. I told you I'm not going to try anything. Please stop looking at me like that. What do you think, Senpai? You can't just kick her out. That'd be cruel. If that is your decision, Master, we have no objections. She may have been on our enemy's side thus far, but I can discern no falsehoods in her words. Plus, she gave us advice about how to survive that whole escape and rampaging Mega Berserker thing. If she'd wanted to hurt us, she'd have just let us fight Mega Herc and go curse Splat. Thank you. You have my gratitude. That's more like it. Being scared all the time is not good for your health. A show of positivity is better for everyone. That's how it should be for all women. Well, that is, I don't mean to say women should be subservient to men. I just mean that they should be able to be free. I just mean they should be free to be themselves. If you're all okay with this, I guess there's no point in me being the lone voice of dissent. Besides, we do need all the help we can get. However, I still have to ask this. Are you sure this book knowledge of yours will actually be helpful? That's a very fair question. As soon as an opportunity to demonstrate my utility presents itself, I shall take it. And as luck would have it, it seems that time is now. The scent I'm picking up on the wind is the same as that discovered by Daniel's son, Hasib. In other words, the scent of a snake woman. Huh? Ryder, come quick! There's a pack of Lamia after our peaches! Those bitches! Aha, I see. I will also help you rid of these pests, if only to demonstrate how I might be useful. But please do keep in mind that I usually try to avoid combat as much as possible. After all, if you lose in battle, you also lose your life. Ugh.
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。
3 battles with them, huh? Okay.
マスター。では、
そうか任せよ
How dare you take my peaches? You take my peaches, I'll take your cherry. Oh shit. Implications. Implications.
Ah,
そうか
問題に
Go for the 40H puzzles one. Bum 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 bum.
罠。
遅い
After watching more of the Neon Genesis Evangelion dub, the Netflix one, I have concluded that the original ADV one is certainly superior, but that doesn't mean there was any censorship afoot, in my opinion. But there are definitely a couple reasons I think the original cast did a much better job than this newer one. And it has everything to do with,
任せよ
namely Asuka. I think Asuka's the biggest one. I love the voice actress. I think she's being played by the girl who does Makoto from Persona 5. But I can't say that for 100% certainty without looking it up. Either way, the one thing I don't get about her is that she doesn't sound nearly as abusive. Asuka abused the crap out of Shinji with her just bad attitude. Idiot Shinji. It just feels so much worse coming from the original actress's mouth. And she also sounds more convincing when she's saying the German stuff.
オーセロッ
任せよ
承知した
ト。罠。
せっ承知した
ああ任せよ
But I think it's important for Asuka to be pretty abusive towards Shinji given how much it affects his self-esteem, I think. It's the Hydra! Where's Herc when you need him?
では、
魔境深淵の H 魔境深淵の H
No, I'm sure Bang Zoom did it.
念には念だ悪く思う
Almost everything in California is recorded out of Bang Zoom.
物理とバズルだけの戦いじゃ。これぞ大軍師の究極人士。
I wonder if a Hydra counts as divine. Maybe I should have done that.
神々の王の慈悲を知れ。絶滅とはこの一筋。焼き尽くせバサビーシャシー。
差しうがち突きうがちグリボルクオルタルティブ。
Damn it, he's still alive.
面には悪く思う。ショートモンハルフィの真の英雄は目で殺す。
修行にかまけたばかりにこの始末とは。
Level up. Oh, finally! It's about time I got her bond to max. Now what does this card do? It's just attack up? It's not that big. Only 15%. Can you tell who Shinji's voice is? Not really. I know it's a woman. A woman playing him. I don't know if it's the same woman who plays Mordred and, Matoe Ryuko. I don't know if it's her. Because when she's playing a straight-up boy, it sounds completely different, but... I don't know if I would use that Crown of the Star. I feel like putting Buster stuff on her is still ideal, unless it costs less. That would be nice. Alright. Scheherazade, for the moment, I'll admit that you make a good tactician. Why are you telling me, dude? You gotta answer me. I love getting new allies. Still, I just had a thought and I realized something. Our ultimate goal here is to find the demon god pillar hiding in Agartha and take it out, right? I mean... They don't? Well, they sound pretty similar. I mean, if we want to do something about this weird sort of singularity place and save everyone down here, I'm not claiming to be an expert on it. That's exactly right. Our order is to defeat the demon god pillar and destroy all of Agartha. Even if we somehow manage to dig a tunnel and let all the men here return to the surface, there will continue to be new victims until we manage to restore the underlying cause. Okay, well then it's one of those two, I think. But you'd have to look it up. Could be, I could be wrong. I'm willing to stake that. Yep, I get all that. And at first I kind of figured the demon god pillar we had to kill was the berserker of El Dorado. But then I thought, what if it's actually Megalos? That's a good point. It's definitely possible. His size and strength are certainly far beyond the bounds of any normal servant. And if he is the pillar, he's gonna be real hard to kill, right? I mean, we all saw how scary he is in murder mode back there. Speaking as a Celtic man, I would like nothing more. For us, the stronger our opponent is, the better. There would be no honor in defeating a weakened Greek hero, but now that he is so incredibly powerful, defeating him would bring us unimaginable honor. Though of course I'm afraid I'm almost certainly not yet strong enough to actually do that. Now hang on a minute. The demon god pillar thing has to be that servant from El Dorado, right? There's no other sensible answer, is there? What do you mean? If this demon god pillar is one that made this place, then naturally this place would follow the rules that its creator laid down. And the rules of this world are obvious. Men fall from the surface, and women use them as slaves, and to create more women. In other words, Agartha is a world made for women. In which case, the demon god pillar must be one of the people trying to rule this world. There used to be 3 possible candidates, but now there's only one. Tahut, Wu Zetian, and Berserker of El Dorado. Their dispositions do seem very different from those of us who don't wish to be here. Which then begs the question of whether that is their true disposition, or the demon god's influence. Either way, the process of elimination leaves us with only one remaining choice. Guess that means we gotta take down the Berserker of El Dorado next. Oh, hey. Since we've run into Little Fergus, Captain Not Drake, and Megaherc, does that mean that every servant who disappeared from Chaldea ended up here after all? Beats me. Like I told you before, I've never met any of them, so I can't say one way or the other. Nor can I. It could simply be that we have yet to encounter them. Or it could be that they have already been killed by either Tahut, Wu Zetian, and the Berserker. What an awful thought. I really don't want to be killed. Erica Mendez has a pretty, It doesn't help that they're both named Erica, but Erica Mendez has a pretty, broad palette, which is nice. A good range of voice. What an awful thought. I don't really want to be killed. The mere thought of dying compels me to practice begging for my life. I suppose the safest thing to do would be to polish my dogeza, since it works so well in many situations. Are you sure? That dogeza already looked perfect to me. Either way, there's no sense worrying about someone we don't even know is here. And since we can't count on Megalos for anything, the only ones we can count on are the ones who are here. Alright, tactician, this is your time to shine. How do we go about fighting El Dorado? Tell us what we've got in mind. Very well, this may be somewhat presumptuous of me, but my advice for our next step is... Quartz! Scheherazade! Invading El Dorado. Oh, baby! Yahoo! Let's do it! We're gonna fight Lancers! Okay, so I'm gonna bring an archer. Can't really go wrong with a bit of Ishtar, or... Let a woman fight a woman's fight. And then we'll put my Sabar into the fray. Sounds good to me. Well, this is a surprise. Leading off by infiltrating the enemy's home base. It's so out of left field I'm still wrapping my head around it. I just hope our new tactician here didn't betray us the first chance she got. As I've told you many times now, I will not betray you. Yeah, Sailor Uranus, I still need to get that far in. I need all of you to win in order to ensure my own survival. I simply determined that this course of action was the best one we could take at this point. I admit that it is not without risk, but it would be far riskier not to take it. If we don't make a move now, the resistance will be cornered without any means of retaliation. That means I would die, and I don't want to die. Well, that escalated quickly. Scheherazade's decision lines up with Chaldea's strategic analysis as well. East has been wiped out, and the Nightless City is now occupied by the Amazons of El Dorado. Yeah, but I don't watch Crystal. I don't care for it as much. I just love the original. The balance between the 3 main powers is completely collapsed, and El Dorado now controls almost all of Agartha. and without any opposition, their forces will only continue to grow the longer we wait. With us servants around, we shouldn't lose it when it comes time to small-scale battles, but I'm afraid we're hopelessly outmatched in sheer numbers. Indeed, which is why our only option is to strike first. Now that the Amazons are occupying the Nightless City, their forces must be split. Thus, I believe that El Dorado's defenses are currently at their weakest. If the Berserker is here, we can defeat her before backup arrives. If she isn't, we can occupy El Dorado before she returns, and reduce the Amazons' numbers. It's a truly bold and daring strategy, where speed is of the essence. At first I thought you were a quiet and reserved woman, akin to the moon on a dark night, but I see now that your passion for the battlefield burns as brightly as the scorching sun. I'm very impressed. It's good. I see, thank you, but I'm merely doing what I can in order to help. She's obviously super nervous around him. Now look what your teasing has done. She really thinks he's a threat. I feel sorry for them both. At least Fergus doesn't seem to have noticed. At any rate, I'm on board with this plan too. I wouldn't have brought my men here otherwise. You guys ready to go? You bet, Ryder! This is it. Now that we're only up against the Amazons, we just have to beat them for this to all be over. Once we win, we'll be able to go back to the surface, right? I can't wait to see my daughter again. That's right. Just a little further and we'll finally have reached our goal. Goal? Come to think of it, Ryder never told us what it is he's after. Isn't Karanin, Lila from Tales of Vesperia? That's the one I certainly know her most as. That laugh sounded kind of sinister, Ryder. Did it? Sorry about that. I'm just excited that our goal is finally in sight. Anyway, like I always say, the important thing is to keep moving forward. Remember that. Yes, sir! What? The Resistance? Well now, looks like we made contact sooner than we expected. We can't have them alerting their comrades. This should make for a good warm-up before the main event. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. Zysteria, absolutely. Lady of the Lake Lila. None of the voices are bad. I just think ADV probably handled them a little better. Again, for the argument I have with Asuka. Oh, it's just these guys? Pathetic. Then again, they do have lots of H puzzles. You know what? Why the fuck am I not using her Noble Phantasm?
なんだそこ動かない。 セット。
Really? That's amazing. I never watched the original dub of Berserker. Or Berserker. That's so appropriate given what we're doing right now, but yeah.
狙いは決まった。任せて。どうかしら。
なんだ。
なんだ。任せて。待ってました。なんだ。当然の結果よ。神、なめないで。
Oh yeah, I guess that is her. I mean, yeah. The newer Aniplex generation of voice actors, I'm not as familiar with. I used to be really good on the old school ADV team, as well as some of Funimation's earlier people, but not as much the newer actors, which new in this case is a bit of a broad term. Alright, I'm gonna bring my Merlin along just to be safe. Or not my Merlin, but a Merlin. And then, yeah, that should do good. That was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now that I think about it, the Amazons were the first opponents I fought down here. The Demon Boar. No, that doesn't count. Between East and the Nightless City, I thought I had gone through some decent training and grown a little at least, since that first fight. But I guess not. I'm still young and weak, and cannot raise my sword against a woman. That may be, but personally I'm grateful that you're entirely focused on keeping Master safe. That's good to hear, I guess. I suppose it's no surprise, given that we are in the heart of their territory. But there are certainly a fair number of Amazons around. It's fortunate that we are only encountering them in small groups, and that none of them are very strong. It's certainly better than running into strong ones before the main event. It's helped the Resistance get their sea legs too. Alright, we can do this. Once we've won, we'll get back to home before we know it. Ryder's right. As long as we don't give up. We can do anything. Come on, let's keep going. I mean, it's kind of fun that Christina V is, like, just as smoking hot as a lot of her characters. I was a little concerned, since so many of these men are heading into battle for the very first time, but it looks like I had nothing to worry about. Yep. This sure is going really well, especially since we're stuck in an actual enemy jungle. It's going too smoothly. Stop. This might be a trap. The traps walked into the trap. Oh god. What the? You just keep screwing up. Like, we can't do covert for shit in this game. I'm so sorry. I could have sworn I was monitoring the situation closely. But I was too busy fondling myself in the command room. Don't blame yourself. This is the enemy's jungle. There are any number of tricks they could have used. Ah. Carrie Savage is actually pretty damn good too. Haven't heard her in a long while. Damn it, does that mean Castor really did sell us out? Guess not. She's quaking in her boots more than anyone. Looks like she just plain got outsmarted. So what to do now? Please be careful, she's here. I see you rats have walked right into our trap. What fools you are. Berserker! She's not even kinda surprised to see us here. She's got our number. How did you know? I was well aware you had gone over to the Resistance, caster of the Nightless City. I may be a berserker and a queen, but above all else, I am a warrior, a general. And no one makes her way to a general without a clear understanding of battlefield tactics. Keeping such things in mind, determining how best to counter you, your most likely move was trivial. East sunk beneath the sea, and the Nightless City has fallen. The underground world is as good as ours. It is now a nation of warriors led by a single queen. There was no gap between rich and poor, and no distinction in class, apart from warrior and royalty. None could hope for a fairer, stronger nation here or anywhere else. A fair and strong nation. Ugh, sounds boring. That sounds like another super frowny, no-smile kind of nation, though in a pretty different way than the Nightless City. And in East, people were just a little bit too happy, you know? It is simply the way of things. The nation that survives will always be the nation that is the strongest. We cannot have stray men doing as they please, fouling our land with their waste. Rejoice, I shall decide which of you we need, and which we do not. Those we do not shall have the honor of dying by my hand. As for whom I choose, that falls to you. Come, men, show me which one of you is strong enough to be worthy of being kept as our slaves. Uh-oh, here they come. Ryder! Keep it together, and take up your weapons, but remember, stick to fighting the Amazons. Whatever you do, don't go near that woman. We are the only ones who should have a chance against her. Come on, let's take down this Zoika. Well, this is all happening kind of fast, but okay. Our enemy is right before us. Once we defeat her, this will all be over. Right now. I'll just have to do the best I can. I'll help however I can to ensure I don't die, but I don't know how much I will be of use. Defend oneself! It's a good strategy. Yes, Hakufu Sonsaku. That's the first time I think I heard her. But then she did a lot of stuff for ADV, or not ADV, Funimation, my bad. She became kind of like a Funimation main. The manga for Ikitosen is way the hell better. That anime made me cry. It was just so bad. Good job, Musa. You die! What do you get apart from from Amazons? More Amazons! Good! You don't like Hilary Haig? She's good in certain roles. For sure. It's a very unconventional voice that she has. I think, to me, perhaps my least favorite English voice actor out there has got to be, forgive me if I say his name wrong, but it's like, Ilik Guardiola? He has this accent that just doesn't fit anything, and it kind of sounds like he's lisping a lot. And I guess that's not so bad, but he just takes me out of the immersion every time he opens his mouth. They had him play Hoshino in Clannad. He's a Sentai voice actor, so he's not as common. Alright, let me see if I can access my history. I just had his page up. What else does he do? God, there are a lot of really non-iconic characters. Like, I don't know any of these fucking characters that he plays. I hear him occasionally. He played Kuze in F, A Tale of Melodies and Memories. Played a dude in Angel Beats. Yes, he played the creepy teacher in High School of the Dead, which worked out a little better for him. Yeah, he really doesn't have the most iconic list of characters, that's for sure. He kind of just plays the filler roles for a lot of things. Okay, sorry about that. Back to the game. I don't know about the air gear stuff. I didn't see him listed there, but then again, I'm not too familiar with the show. Okay, Berserker, holy shit. Well, if you're gonna pull that, thankfully I've just got Invincible. I could do a triple buster with Musashi. So let's get her geared up for that. Alright, that looks good. Maybe I should... That's a debate. That is a debate. No, I'm gonna go with my hunch. I'm gonna go with my hunch here. Yeah, no, I don't know that guy. Come and get me! I should do.
どうか
Oh, I haven't seen Beyond the Boundaries English dub. That show itself is... It's not a bad show, it's just kind of weird.
Oh, の話をすおのん星の宇宙に物見の見て
Like, the overarching story made shit for sense. But the day-to-day interactions of the characters were fun to watch. I guess that's how I feel about it.
どうか柄ではないんだけどね
Battle finish, baby. That was it? I just had to break her one? Oh, I could have done that better than that. I know this isn't the final fight against her by any means, but still. I was ready to take her on for the long haul. Shame, shame, shame. Okay. This will be enough to plow through. Well, well. You are certainly powerful for such a motley group. Good. The stronger the men, the better. As long as they aren't them. Who's them? We don't have time to converse with her now, Master. Still, the scales may be tipping in our favor. Yeah, we could do this! Anyone who's injured, get back! We can handle the Amazons as long as we keep ganging up on them. There's no way I'm giving up now. Not when victory's so close I can taste it. My proud children, my Amazon warriors. I did not order you to frolic about for fun. I see you are underestimating them, merely because they are men. Then I shall remind you, pathetic men, though they are still enemies. We proud Amazons do not hold back against our enemies. That is how we do battle. Weak enemies allow us to show our strength. Strong enemies are a chance for us to refine our skills. Yeah, Sentai's worst, absolute worst for me though, is definitely Clannad and Angel Beats. They royally butchered those. Whatever our enemy, we are to relish the opportunity they provide. Thus, as your queen, I command you now. Roar! Roar! Follow Her Majesty! Louder! Jesus. Never heard so much synchronized shouting. What the hell are they doing? Could this be the Amazons' war cry? This is bad. Be careful. Ugh! Shit, they're cutting right through us. I'm afraid so. Once they began this war cry, they became far more formidable opponents. Their strength, speed, agility, and durability have all increased. They no longer even feel pain. It is as though they have all gained madness enhancement. How is this happening? I know from experience that battle cries are important in combat. They inspire soldiers and help raise morale, but this is on a whole other level. If you would like to know a good way to beg for your life, I can think of 30 different reasons. I believe that one used among a subset of African tribes, which involves opening your mouth and raising both hands high up at an angle, may be the best way of indicating our surrender to them, with a 3% chance of success. I mean, they're great shows, but Sentai butchered them. They're awful. Clannad's biggest fault, in my opinion, is changing Ushio to Yushio. That's the worst. I fucking hate that. To have that character's name butchered back and forth by different cast members as if the director wasn't even paying a fucking attention. Same kind of thing in Angel Beats. The girl's name is Yuripe, and they call her Yuripi. I'm like, dude, learn even the slightest bit of Japanese here. This is bad. That sounds like Rome. True, they could well end up interpreting that stance in a different way altogether. This really is a difficult problem. Perhaps Dogeza is still the safest option after all. You want to know the option that'll give you the best chance of surviving this? Stop thinking of ways to beg for your life and start fighting for it. Right on, we gotta focus on breaking through their defenses. I'll look for the weakest link in their surrounding formation. Hang in there, Master. And the fact that they had David Matranga trying to play a little kid. Like his kid version of himself, and that just sounds so wrong. Like he's this deep-voiced, like, super manly man kind of voice, and here he is playing this little boy, and it just sounds so... bleh. Wow, we have to fight 15 Amazons. What's up with... okay, what's with this... You can't debuff them. They're always strong. Okay. But their defense is decreased. Mow them down! Ugh. The number of people watching this is waning, but we're fighting the Amazon, so it's exciting. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't. For a better chance at survival, attack the ones that are still on screen. What about Todoroki? And who is he? Yeah, David Matranga can be great. I remember him in Sorceress Stabber Orphan, which they're re-releasing on Blu-ray, which is exciting. I want to pick that up, but the thing that pissed me off about the dub for Orphan back in the day is they refused to have him say the names of all these spells and things that he would say. It's old school. Sorceress Stabber Orphan is a very old school show, but I highly recommend it. It's got a really good story. But they intentionally decided not to have him say all the names of the spells like he does in Japanese. Instead, just give like snide remarks and weird shit like that. It's really bizarre, to be honest.
いいとも。星の宇宙に物見の無手、楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者のみ通るがいいガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
なんだ
どうか
Ah, fuck. 122 health. What a waste. I've never heard of that show either.
物理で殴るだけの戦いじゃ
任せて
つまらん。
待ってましたなんだ
なんだ
ゲー
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。いいとも。
オートモン任せて
物理で殴るだけの戦いじゃ
どうか
Who is your personal favorite voice actor and actress, respectively?
破ってみせる。では
待ってました
王の話をするとしよう。
オートモンなんだ
星の宇宙に物見の無手、楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。
Laura Bailey's pretty damn good. Troy Baker's nice as well. I think Troy Baker I've heard a little too much in some ways. Me, for a man, I might think I still have a bit more adoration for, Yuri Lowenthal. He got tons of roles too, but still.
Iいとも。
罠
どうか
罠
I kind of have a tie for my two favorite female actresses. I don't know either of their names, which is funny. I'll have to look them up. I should do.
オートモン
どうか
なんだ任せて任せてなんだ引き返せるか
Oh, they got waiver. But there's only 2 of them, so he's good. Yeah, we're about to finish this whole thing right here. With the power of Musashi.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。
老林のしまあおたま根津観音憤怒諸悪この我が勝負医者な大戦争なんの引き返せる我が剣未だ君には足らず
God, even IMDb doesn't even have her listed there. Jeez. Huh. Yes, okay, so her name is Kim Sevier, Sevier. She plays Yuri from Dirty Pear Flash. In the original Evangelion dub, she also played Shinji's mother. So we're talking, around that time. She doesn't have the biggest career out there, that's for sure. It was literally just in that ADV heyday of sorts. The story is very good. There, I see it. Everyone, focus your efforts on the formation at 8 o'clock. That's where their line is the weakest. We're beating up on the Amazons. Actually, now we're trying to run away from the Amazons. They started their war cry. You hear that, men? This isn't the end. Resistance, fall back! That goes for us too, Master. Come, I'll bring up the rear. Woo! You sure you want to bring up the rear? I'm sorry, my queen. They got away. I see, that is disappointing. All the more so after showing them our war cry. My deepest apologies. Well, no matter. One of their servants excelled at defense. That one must have defended the rabble as they fled, tails between their legs. How many did you kill? If you include the ones we hunted while giving chase, about half. I see. About the same as our own casualties. It remains to be seen whether they will continue to struggle, or come to pledge their submission. What shall we do with them, the men who surrendered? Our expanded territory has led to an increase in our population as well. We are currently low on men. Perhaps we should send them to... No need for that. Execute them. Yes, Your Majesty, my apologies. Those we captured for childbirthing when they first fell from the surface are one matter. But the seed of those who oppose us must be selected with care. Those who have surrendered to us out of fear are tainted with cowardice. Such must not be permitted to enter into our bloodline. However, if you find any men who have been defeated in honorable combat, men who have lost their arms or legs, yet still glare at us as if to rip our throats out with their teeth, given the chance, those I give you leave to bring back and use them as you will. However, yes, Your Majesty, I understand. The Greek hero is the one exception. We must not fuck Achilles, which she thinks Heracles is because she's insane. I don't know how you mix them up. They're quite different. Oh my god. Lots of missions. So, this is all that made it. We lost about half of them. I'm so sorry. This wasn't your fault. In the end, we're the ones who agreed to your plan. It's not like I told you before. Or it's like I told you before. We went along with it because we thought it would work. Our enemy just happened to be one step ahead. So don't waste your breath apologizing. Alright. The important thing is figuring out our next move. I'm not done yet. I'm not giving up. I don't know. I think everyone here is still in shock. Damn it. I can't stop shaking. I can't believe he's dead. One moment he's right there next to me, and the next he's just gone. Kept hacking at them and hacking at them, but they kept getting back up. If I close my eyes, I can still see them coming at us. Do you really think we have a chance? Hell if I know. I just don't want to die. That's all I want. Same here. Same for all of us. Maybe we should have stayed slaves if we're just gonna end up dead. Alright. I say it's time for some victuals? Today you guys can eat as much as you want. Go ahead and stuff yourselves silly. There's nothing else you can do today, so don't worry about a thing. We've got the worrying covered. Yeah, now that you mention it, I am pretty hungry. Let's get something to eat. I'm exhausted. Hang on a minute. Have you seen that boy anywhere? The one who's always hanging around me? I don't think he made it back. I see. Guess his luck ran out. No, there wasn't anything he could have done. Ryder. I told him to run away when he knew he couldn't win. He was just a kid. Nobody would have blamed him for turning his tail at first sight of trouble. Did I say something to you, by the way? I was telling you about my favorite voice actress. I don't know if you caught that. What a waste. Ryder. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm just a dull old man. Nothing special to see here. Anyway, you guys should go get some rest too, to be honest. We'd all be dead right now if you hadn't been around. I'm grateful to you. Thank you. It was a rather intense battle. We could all do with some rest to recover our strength. I think you should take Ryder up on his suggestion and turn in for the day, Master. Good plan. We can save thinking about tomorrow for tomorrow. Yes, I agree you should all get some rest, but I'm going to keep thinking about our plan next. I mean, if you don't remember what I said about my favorite voice actress, one of the two that I can't choose between is Kim Sevier. Or Sevier, I don't know. But she did a lot of stuff back in ADV's heyday. Nothing too prominent, but she played Yuri in Dirty Pair Flash. She also played Shinji's mom in the old school Eva dub. Do you still feel responsible for what happened today? That is part of it, but the truth is, I just want to do whatever I can to ensure I survive. I see. In that case, you can also think about it while having a drink. I may be young and inexperienced, but as the latest in a long line of kings, I know what to do in times like this. You should go where the men are drinking, and join them in drowning their sorrows. I'm not sure that's a good idea. My plan was what failed us all so spectacularly. Yes, I'm sure there will be some who will have their grievances with you, but in my opinion, you should take what they say to heart. That is part of a tactician's role after a plan fails, and your opportunity to claim their resentment. There's no need to overthink it. Just think of it as giving them an opportunity to vent. Don't worry, if anyone crosses the line, I'll be there to back you. Very well. In that case, I shall take you up on your advice. I'll join you in drink as well. Besides, I may be able to help the men's minds, or help take the men's minds off their sorrows by entertaining them with my sword dance. I think I'll stay here and fall asleep with Master. They'd run out of liquor if we all went. Guess that leaves me and Foe for Master's guard and body pillow duty. See you all tomorrow. Oh! I could have sworn I just heard something fairly improper. Well, I'll be monitoring you from here regardless, so if anything happens, I'll know who to blame. Anyway, good night, Senpai. What, because I want to sleep with Astolfo? I'm sorry. I noticed you leaving and thought you might have had too much to drink. I have some water for you if you'd like it. No, thank you. I just felt like getting some night air. Besides, we servants do not easily become intoxicated after all. Oh, right, I'm sorry. I guess there really is something off about me. At times, it feels as though I'm still alive. Maybe it's because I'm so immature since I have yet to grow into my own as a warrior. Still alive, you say? But you're a servant as well, aren't you? Oh, yes, that much is certain. I just mean that I'm still immature, mentally and physically. I see. It sounds like you have a lot on your plate as well. Could I trouble you for that water now? I think it would go well with this cool night air. Of course. Oh, and would you mind if I sat next to you? I think I'd like some fresh air myself. No, not at all. Thank you. The night sky is quite beautiful tonight. It's hard to believe it's actually just moss. You know, this place really is mysterious. We have stars, even though there's no sky, and cool night air, even though we're miles underground. May I ask you something, just to pass the time? By all means. This is purely hypothetical, so please feel free to answer in any way you'd like. What sort of nation would you like to live in? Why do you ask me? Well, to be blunt, because you seem the most normal out of anyone here. After all, you're scared of both combat and dying, as most people would be. All of the other women here seem a bit extreme, for a lack of a better word. So I wanted to hear from one with more down-to-earth sensibilities. Of course, I'm well aware that there's no point to this question. This is purely to satisfy my own curiosity. Even if we do arrive at the truth here, it wouldn't change anything since Ulster is already gone. Thank you for the follow. Here, I can see you're quite earnest, unlike the king that I once knew. Oh, does that mean you once served a king when you were alive? As I recall, you... I prefer not to talk about that. I would rather not dwell on those memories. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. So, about my question. Oh yes, my apologies. I'm afraid I don't have an especially interesting answer, but I would like to live in a nation without any danger. After all, in a place fraught with danger, it is possible I may lose my life. You really are afraid of dying, aren't you? Isn't everyone? Yes, I suppose they are. Regardless, a Celtic warrior does not fear death, you see. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make small of your opinion. Maybe we should not talk about our views on the matter of life and death. It's not that we want to die after all. Thank you for the follow. I can certainly understand your position in that sense. Still, a nation without danger is easy to talk about, but probably very hard to create. The closest example I can think of is the Land of the Young. That's impressive. I should have expected as much from you. The Land of the Young, or Tir na Nog, is a Celtic myth. It is a land of eternity where gods and fairies walk. It is a peaceful and joyous utopia where there is always enough delicious fruit for everyone to eat. Yet both there and here, the threat of death is still present. Not gods who dwell underground, nor the humans in their peach-filled paradise can escape it. True, that's why we've been drinking to our fallen comrades tonight. I had no idea just how difficult creating an ideal nation would be. Oh, sorry to talk your ear off. I didn't mean to have you join me in my little mental exercise. By the way of apology, how about this? I may not be able to help you live in a nation without the threat of death, but I can offer a replacement. From now on, I won't just use my sword to protect Sarah. I'll also use it to keep you safe from the threat of death. On that, you have my word. I am young and experienced, and cannot draw my sword against a woman, but I should be better than nothing. That is quite reassuring. Very well then, I will be counting on you. We should probably head back inside. Daeon's sword dance has most likely lost its appeal by now. I'd love to hear another one of your stories sometime. You're a great storyteller. You make it all seem so real. Not just for me either. You had the entire resistance hanging on your every word, too. I think that can be arranged. What sort of story would you like to hear next time? Do you happen to know anything about, say, princes who grow up to become great kings? That, or, I don't know, something erotic. Jesus. At least there's no battles. It's just story, 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 story. Oh shit. Who lit the place on fire? Master, wake up! We've got serious trouble! Sulfo is soft and fluffy. Foe! Master, this is not the time to get all cuddly with Foe! Astolfo, Master's safety comes first. Please, get her out of here. Yes, on it. Huh. Everything's on fire! I've been trying to tell you that, sleepyhead. The whole grove's gone up like a match. Damn it, put it out, put it out. We can't. The fire spread too much. How did this happen? The Amazon set it on fire. Everything's going up in flames. Keep it together. First, make sure nobody's trapped in the flames. Things can be replaced, people can't. And make sure we're keeping an eye on our perimeter. The enemy may take this chance to attack. Alternatively, whoever set the fire might still be close by. If you see them, don't let them escape. Once all that's done, gather our resources. Get everything that's still intact to a safe place. Now get moving, or we really Jesus. Tongue-tied. Sorry. Or we really will lose everything to the fire. God, I can't handle that. Tongue twister. I'm so ashamed. I didn't even notice until it was too late. I was careless. I never thought they would attack our home base. No time for regret. Servants have less to fear from the flames, so we should all help tend to the injured. Do it. I'll help everyone out over here. Okay, Master. Let's get you somewhere safe. It's all gone. They finally found our hideout. Yesterday, we were all so focused on just getting away. Maybe we didn't cover our tracks well enough. And that may have let them follow us all the way here. Then they could all show up here at any time. What are we gonna do? Don't ask me. You know what we're going to do. Ryder, I've been telling you the same thing every day. I'm not about to change my tune now. Never give up. Keep moving forward. That's all we can do. But, Ryder, I know, everything's gone now. It's all burned down. The peach trees we depended on for food, the houses we worked tirelessly to build, the resources we collected a bit of at a time from our enemies, even the graves of our dead comrades. All of that is ash now. This peach tree grove was an ideal hideout, but it's gone. And I have only one thing to say to you now, something we should all be saying. So what? We're still here, we're still alive, our legs can still take us wherever we want to go. We are not done for yet. There is still plenty we can do. This may be laughably obvious, but I'll say it again. I'll say it as many times as it takes. It's not over till it's over. As long as you don't give up, dreams do come true. I know that deep in my soul, better than anyone. What about you? You've all been brave enough to fight alongside me all this time. Are you just going to give up and let it end here? Or are you going to keep facing forward with me? Yeah, that's true. We are still alive. If we gave up now, we'd never be able to show our faces to the men who died. I thought I was going to die a slave when I first fell down here, and now look how far we've come. It'd be wrong for us not to see it through to the end. I'm in, Ryder. I'm with you all the way. Me too. Remarkable. It's as though he brought them back from the dead. According to all logic and good sense, this was a hopeless situation, so perhaps it's fitting that such logic isn't what they needed to hear. Indeed, no amount of gentle cajoling or reasoning can move a soldier with a broken spirit. Okay, Ben, where the fuck did that come from? That sounds ridiculous. And yet, amazingly, a leader with the right qualities, merely commanding them to get moving, can be enough to motivate them all to do so. Ryder looks to have those qualities in spades. I only wish they lent themselves to slightly less destructive tendencies. I think the word you're looking for is charisma. Well, yes, I suppose so. Still, while kings, queens, generals, and noble warriors may all possess charisma, I think each has a very different kind of charisma. In my estimation, Ryder is more like... There you are. We're going to need your help again, tactician. I might have talked a good game, but to be honest, I can see where we go from here, or I can't see where we go from here. Metallica, huh? Weird. I never listened to them. Do you have any idea about how we can turn this situation around? I do, in fact. I just now thought of one. Good timing, let's hear it. We need to replenish our mana, and you are the only one here capable of doing this for us. Simply put, we launch another sneak attack. Although, with our current numbers, I'm afraid it may be more of a suicide attack. That'd be fine with me as long as it doesn't turn out like it did yesterday. How do we know it won't? I could see trying the same thing twice giving us an edge in terms of surprise, but there's no guarantee our enemy won't see through it again. It won't be the same as yesterday. There will be major differences in both our means and our method. This is something we can only do now that things have changed. It's a shame, though, that the changes have not been for the better. Firstly, the resistance is smaller now. Secondly, we no longer have to worry about returning home, since we no longer have a home. And there was one last reason why I believe this attack will succeed. You, Ryder. Me? I already had some idea based on your outfit and fighting style, but after seeing how you inspired your men just now, I'm all but certain. I believe that everyone else will agree with me. You treat everyone under your command, along with yourself, as part of a single whole. You have the ability to bring them all together and lead them toward achieving a common goal. That is neither the aloof rule of a king nor the hierarchical inspiration of a general. It is the charisma of one who is inextricably tied to those they lead. In other words, you were the captain of a ship. And in that case, there is a role that you are best suited to fill. It is a role that only you can play, precisely because of who you are. And it is the key to this operation. Ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum. We be fighting Lancers! Which is convenient. Anytime you're gonna come home.
I have no idea.
Ha! This feels right. So incredibly right. The feeling of plotting a course from the bow as the ship sways back and forth. The chilling splash of the water that creaks and groans of the hull. I still can't remember anything, but damn if this doesn't feel like coming home to an old friend. Ah, we've got boulders up ahead. Hard aport. Steady as she goes. Astolfo, what? Astolfo, what are you doing? I'm a rider, remember? I've got the skill and everything. Steering a big old boat like this should be a piece of cake for... No, I mean, why are you wearing that outfit? Well, it's a sailor outfit, right? I just happened to hang on to it, so I thought it'd be perfect for a voyage like this. You ought to set the tone with stuff like this, you know? Besides, I want to get everyone all fired up. With my penis. And it's working like a charm, don't you think? True, the Resistance does seem to be looking at you like you're some sort of sea goddess. In fact, Master may be looking at you a little too much. At any rate, please watch your skirt. No, Master. I'm not going to dress up as Maid Knight again. That was just a one-time thing. At any rate, this plan appears to be going well so far. I'll admit I was taken aback when I first heard about it, but... There is only one advantage to that that the Resistance holds over El Dorado. The Resistance holds over El Dorado. The fact that you were the ones to topple Ys. The city itself may now be flooded, but there is still something you have gained from it. Their ships. Correct. Every river here in Agartha flows back to the great eastern lake where Ys once stood. The pirates, Dahut's underlings, would sail ships upstream along these rivers to attack and plunder at a moment's notice. Yep, I think we covered that earlier, but it sounds like a ton of work to paddle a big boat upstream. Did they have motors or something? No. While I was serving Dahut, I had a number of chances to ride their ships myself. They were enchanted with some form of magecraft that propelled them forward just by unfurling their sails, whether they had wind or not. Ooh, thank you for the follow. I'm doing wonderfully today. Oh, that would certainly make life easier. And that I thought such a thing at all shows I probably do have some experience with ships. I imagine it'll all come back to me once I'm aboard one. As I said before, Ryder, one of the keys to this plan is the fact that we now know you can sail. It has nothing to do with your riding, and everything to do with your knowledge of commanding a ship, which is in its own way a kind of living thing. And unfortunately, it is only possible now that the Resistance is small enough to fit aboard one ship. Granted, it may be more accurate to say that they no longer have any choice but to do so, as their home has been burned down. I agree with our current numbers, there won't be much point in leaving anyone behind. If we're going to attack, we should do so all together. All of this means that, with things as they are now, we can use a single east ship and a river that leads into the heart of the jungle to launch an attack on the enemy's base in El Dorado with the entire remaining Resistance. This will be a surgical strike, concentrating all of our power on the enemy's most vulnerable point. I believe that is our only chance at victory. Of course, if this plan fails, then we will all end up dead. Now don't go worrying about that. You can't move forward if you keep turning around to look behind. Besides, remember what we're about to ride. Ships only move in one direction, and it isn't backwards. That's it. Full speed ahead. I must say, it feels wonderful to sail upstream at top speed. This must be a first for me, whether in life or as a servant. Hey, there's a bridge, some kind of barrier ahead. What do we do now? I thought we might run into something like this. Not to worry, we do the same thing we did with the bridges. Go right through them. What about the Amazons on it? No matter, it'll just be a little more work than usual. Just take out the ones that get in our way. The important thing is securing a route forward. Understood. We'll deal with the enemies while the resistance focuses on destroying the barrier. What should I do? I want to hide in the cabin so I don't die from a wayward arrow. But if I do that, I won't be able to help prevent the ship from sinking. What a dilemma. Your pessimism is truly is every bit as potent as enduring as Ryder's optimism. Don't worry, I'll devote myself to keeping Sarah, you, and the entire rear guard safe, I promise. At any rate, now is not the time to hold back. We must fight with all our strength. If this ship sinks, it truly will be over for us. Right, very well then. I shall do my best, at least enough to ensure that I don't die. Bring it on! Bring it on! My other favorite voice actress is probably Jessica Boone. She's very good. She played in Kanon 2006. She was in Log Horizon. She was Shayla from Akame ga Kill. She was Rei from High School of the Dead. Lots and lots of folks. I really like her voice. Alright, here we go. You guys are just taking all the spotlight from Musashi. Give her some turns, you dude. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Yeah, she's ADV slash Sentai. She's been around from a little before that, but yeah, same thing. It was just more of a generation. And it's mostly based on the sound of their voice. I like their vocal qualities. In terms of like performance and like versatility as actors, yeah, someone like Laura Bailey probably would. Or Carrie Walgren is also very good at what she does. Yep, High School of the Dead. I like that dub. It's a good dub. It's silly, it's not accurate, but I like it. They took creative liberties, but I really don't mind. I remember they inserted a stupid Sarah Palin joke somewhere along the way. And of course, swear words are interpretive, because Japan doesn't really have swear words in the same way that we do. It's more so based on the tone and the attitude of the character, whether to put like a good old fuck in there or something. What about Funimation's people specifically? Because I was just making a comment on High School of the Dead's script changes, more so than the actual cast. And Funimation has some good people, for sure. Ari-chan is home. When are you having your appointment to get your skates?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh wait, yeah, because today's Monday. Derp. Are you feeling better? Okay.
Oh, God, no.
Don't worry about ever jinxing it or something like that either. If it happens, it happens. And if it does happen, you got DaiKun. Alright, we made it through. That is all well and good, but what about the Amazons that escaped? Won't they raise an alarm? I can't believe how far you got into this singularity skip in the story, baby. Fighting friggin' Heracles, I still haven't gotten to that fight.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that you're pretty well in, I would think. That is all well and good, but what about the Amazons that escaped? Won't they raise an alarm? They might have already done that after catching sight of us from the shore. There's no point worrying about that sort of thing now. We just have to get to El Dorado before anyone brings word of our attack. So, I know we're supposed to defeat that berserker if she's here, but what if she isn't? Then it'll be that much easier to take out their base. Based on our recon, El Dorado is where the Amazons are keeping most of their men. What's more, they're all strong and healthy men. Just the way they like. Once we free them, they'll join our side and stop the enemy from multiplying. 2 birds, 1 stone. We'll also be able to load up on supplies, which will make our next move that much easier. So right now, we keep moving full speed ahead. Steady as she goes. Wait, I see another barrier up ahead. No surprise there. The Amazons probably built a few of them to ward off the East pirates. But I bet they didn't count on guys like us charging in at full steam. Now, ramming speed! That's really exciting. A one-day con at a fairground, huh? Sounds so tiny, but fun at the same time. What's she doing? Is that mail? What kind of? Oh, you got it. Do you want to do it?
I'm doing it.
Oh, you just gave me this stub.
Yeah.
I was like,
つまらん
お望みのままに
dub.
待ってました
罠
どうか
There we go. Yeah, you guys are fucked now. Demonic Beast will die. A triple buster combo.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか
よーしそこ狙うからねよーしそこ狙うからね
So wait, did you already go to Sacramento? For that con?
五輪の待ってましたなん天満台自在天神異様栗から挑戦者行くぞ剣豪バットいかな天なんの
Bye bye, Beastie Boy. And not the band. Sounds like fun. At the moment, I'm a bit
望みのままに
tired out from convention type things. I'm so busy working in the moment on my videos and trying to keep up with video games, and then there's like, oh, there's a con coming up in a couple months. Shit.
ご苦労様。じゃあ次に行こう。
Hello. How goes? How goes it? Master, look! There, beyond those trees! That's sure golden! Hi, Kenzina. Did you write on it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh. Indeed, that temple, which certainly looks like it leapt straight out of Kintoki's dreams, seems to be the heart of El Dorado. There it is, we finally made it to El Dorado. Lay anchor on the shores nearest the temple. We'll take the shortest possible route to... What's going on? The ship's shaking. Is something going on with the river? No, wait, there's something in the river. Oh no, I recognize this sensation. I'm about to come. Astolfo, you need to stop the ship immediately. Hold on to me, Master. He's about to emerge. No, why now of all times? I think this might be the fight. Gotta take 'em out. Gotta take 'em out. Megalos! Shit. Is this just bad luck, or did someone put him here on purpose? Could the Amazons have placed him here as a last line of defense? That would be tremendously unfortunate for us if that were the case. Hey, wait. Didn't they fight in the Nightless City? Doesn't seem like they'd suddenly be friends now. Regardless of why he's here, he is far too dangerous. You must avoid fighting him. I'm afraid it doesn't look like we have a choice. He seems dead set on fighting us. This is our last chance to reach El Dorado. We can't fall back, and we can't give up. Up till now, we've had no choice but to run from him. But that was back when I didn't have a ship. Especially one with so many servants aboard. Get ready, we're about to fight our way through the biggest storm of our lives. Should be able to be catching that kitty box.
Yeah, I bet.
Arigato. I'll probably keep at this until 7 o'clock, which is 40 minutes away. Hey, big boy. Were you fighting him on the ship? Like a boat?
I can't remember now. I feel like I just went to the first battle and then fight him again. How many lives does he have?
Looks like a shit ton.
Okay, this is it. So I think once you get down to 4, he'll back.
So we just survive, essentially. Eh.
We're about to get to 4.
We'll take our lovely Musashi out for a damage count.
医者な
Oh, Musashi. I love how you kill things good. Oh yeah, took out a health bar with one noble phantasm. Oh, but that hurt like a mofo, even with your defense up. Yep. Okay. Let us see here.
上手にひらめいた
We must do what we can to survive.
お望みのままに
待ってましたなんの
And we almost got another health bar out of him in the second turn. Attack us all evenly, my friend. Oh, I said evenly. Don't focus on the wave. This would be beneficial. If we can slow him down a little bit, that'll be nice.
罠
Oh shit. Nice. There goes the second one. Didn't kill nobody. Waver the fuck alone. Oh my god. Poor guy. No! Stop it! How many turns do you get? Ridiculous. Redonkulous. Hey, cray cray.
O望みいいとも
待ってました
どうか
You think I should take Skyhawk along? I forgot for a second that my Herky boy is, he's divine. He's divine?
王の話をするとしよう
動輪の真髄お見せしましょう
Oh yeah, well I'm not gonna lose this fight by any means. I'm doing really well,
楽園の
but
端から君に聞かせよう罪なき者の無透明なガーデン・オブ・アバロン
I don't know, not every boss can be playable, but in this case, since he is a servant, I don't know, tricky. Big boy. Musashi,
天満点
yum.
自在展示二葉栗から超天使剣豪バット医者な
Does it remember all the lives I take from him from previous fights? It's a good thing, though. They killed Wava. No! What a shame. You would have thought that the stun would have done something to him, but it didn't. It did not. Yeah, that'll be a good way to fill up my NP gauge.
直視真俺の前に立つんじゃない
Good job, Shiki. Yay, battle
よ
over.
し今回も生き残ったわねうどん食べに行くか
Aw. Yeah, I'm at a good point where even if I don't get the servants I want, it's just sort of like, nah, okay. Okay, so it's basically the same thing again. Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch in Skahak here and give her this one. Throw her in that place and see how we go. We'll see if she does better than Musashi. He's too damn strong. Just what I expect from one of the greatest Greek heroes. I couldn't ask for a worthier opponent. You're excited about this? He's so tough I had to stop playing Sailor Paladin and change back into my real outfit again. Even before his Berserker enhancement, his power as a heroic spirit was incredible. But when we consider the sheer magnitude of strength added to his usual with this giant form. Indeed, on top of all of that, Megalos seems to be in an endlessly rampaging state and shows no signs of slowing down at all. In essence, he appears to have gone ultra berserk. That would explain why he's acting like a monster. It's actually kind of impressive, in a scary, monstrous sort of way. You've done a fair amount of damage to him, but he's still incredibly dangerous. Keep your guard up. This is terrible. Just one strike from that monster would easily be enough to kill us, yet in battle he beats the shit out of us. Indeed, he's like a living storm. His roar is like a thunderclap, shaking the entire ship. His arms are like the wind, raging tirelessly to break the mast. He throws wave after wave at us. He stands dark and unyielding, blocking our way as far as we can see. Ryder? Oh yes, I know my storms. And you are the worst kind there is, one that shows up just when you're trying to take a piss, the voyage is going well, and does everything it can to sink us. I'm actually grateful to you. Thanks to you tossing us around so much I almost threw up. I finally remembered that I've gotten through storms like you countless times. Ryder, did you regain your memories? I'm picking up a unique magical energy pattern. This is Ryder's noble phantasm? Woo! I don't care what sort of hero you used to be. As long as you stand in my way, you're no more than just another storm to me. So stay out of my way. The new world I've been dreaming of is finally within reach. I'm putting my anchor down right here. I will show this storm that I'm already at my destination. This marks the first step to the end of my long voyage. Santa Maria, drop anchor! Whoa, there's another ship here, and it's coming right up to us. It just sent our anchor flying. That must be Ryder's noble phantasm. It's holding Megalos in place. Santa Maria, drop anchor. I knew it. So that's who he is. You figured out his true name, Da Vinci? Sure have. I think you'll recognize the name too. La Santa Maria was the ship he's most famous for. He sailed it across the Atlantic Ocean and discovered the New World, at least as far as Europe was concerned, in the 15th century. You're Christopher Columbus, aren't you? That's right. I finally remembered my name. I'm Columbus. It's great that Ryder has his memories back, but I think we have more urgent matters to attend to. You're right. Now's our chance. I do have reservations about cutting down an opponent bound in chains, but I suppose I should think of this as a bondage exercise, more than slaying a monster. Now that I know Ryder is Columbus, I have some concerns, but like Mashi said, we definitely have more urgent matters to attend to right now. Be careful, everyone. Just because he's tied up doesn't mean he's still not a threat. In bed. Oh! Alrighty then.
よし戦い
Let
だ
us see
苦手だけ
what's
ど全力で行こ
going
うか
on.
では
How many health bars I can knock off you now, douchebag.
魔境深淵の英知およそ私に殺せぬものなどない
お任せ。夢のように片付けよう。
行くぞそうか差しうがち突きうがちゲリボルクオルタルティム
Okay, Skyhawk is still the fucking champion at killing gods. Like, that's never gonna change. Holy shit. She alone took 2 health bars in 1 turn. I'm actually really surprised it let his guts react prior. Now that Skyhawk has done so well, let's switch her for Musashi for the remainder. I'm pretty sure that if I buster her up with that 100% crit, that's gonna do some good for me.
お任せ。夢のように片付けよう。お望みのまま。
Was Herc Alter in Lost Butterfly? You know, they've never referred to it as Herc Alter, but I guess technically speaking, it could count as such. Unless there's a Herc Alter is a separate thing. I mean, because Saber Alter is just the corrupted Angerminu version. And that's basically what Berserker is in, Oh, I see what you're saying. No, Herc dies for the first time in Lost Butterfly. He'll come back in his corrupt state later. You're absolutely right. Hi, Canteen.
お望みのままに。
I am just fucking Zerker. Oh! You say that, and then he bores a hole into Merlin's face.
じゃあ次に行こう。
I did not see the Karna, Arjuna new animations, and Rama as well. True name revealed. Christopher Columbus. It's time to finish that Zerker. In this case, I'm gonna put Musashi in first, and then sub Skyhawk in after. Damn it, I can't believe he's still this strong, even tied up. Hurry and finish him off, I can't keep this anchor out forever. We should have wounded him quite grievously by now. Just a little more and... oh no. The Amazons are here! Aw, crap. Amazons on the shore and... the Queen? My slick wild beast! The hell? It's way too soon for her to be showing up. That's right. I should have realized it sooner. Of course she would come here. Why is that? Based on previous observations, the Berserker of El Dorado seems concerned with expanding her territory. But we've also seen her behave in a manner counter to that simple explanation. Wherever Megalos appears, she rushes in to battle him. She does so regardless of where she currently is or what her current situation may be, as long as there's nothing that matters to her more. Wait, something appears off about her. The Berserker of El Dorado just started raging and she's charging right at us. No, wait, she's not going for us. I think she's going for Megalos. I know your scent. It's you. I'll kill you. That's why I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I swear! I'll kill you! Achilles! Huh. Don't know why, but I'm pretty sure she's got the wrong guy. She certainly doesn't seem to think so, judging from how fiercely she's attacking him. She's behaving more like a wild beast than a person. Achilles is in the Greek hero? But isn't that... His spirit origin pattern may be much, much larger, but he's still definitely Heracles. His noble phantasm and fighting style all bear that out. So then, why should she think otherwise? I can only surmise that she's mistaken him for Achilles. If so, it's no great shock. Look at her. She's as berserk as berserkers come. The mere fact that they are both Greek heroes, his scent alone is enough to make her mistake him for the object of her hatred. That is how much she hated Achilles. Even a vaguely similar scent is enough to drive her utterly berserk. Indeed, her raging hatred of Achilles is the very foundation of her existence as a heroic spirit. Wait, you figured out her true name? Yup. Actually, this is one of the possibilities I considered at the start, but her actions really made me certain of who she is. After that war cry, I'd say it's safe to assume that she was the queen of Amazons in life. Her true name is... Penthesilea? Nailed it. I see you know your history, Sarah. That's right, her name is Penthesilea. The queen of the Amazons, known far and wide for her strength and beauty. She came to Troy's aid in the Trojan War after Hector was killed, and the Achaeans seemed about to win. Later, she died in a duel against Achilles. Achilles? Achilles, you say? Stay back! Don't rile her up. Shit, looks like I was too late. So you, who would stop me from killing Achilles, are also Achilles. Then I shall kill all of you! Oh no, I can't hold him in any longer. Anyone else getting giant monster movie flashbacks? Two berserkers, one cup, each flailing about and attacking each other that get close. This really does feel like a quest to slay a monster. I was hoping they would each take each other out, but it seems they mean to come after us. Focus on survival first and foremost. Be careful, Master. This is going to be a dangerous battle. I couldn't agree more. I wish I could run away. I don't think Dogeza will work on them. Astolfo, use your trap card. Okay. What the fuck what did I just see? Was I just hit by like debris from their fight?
いいともお望みのままにどうかな罠だどうかな
Yeah, that's so weird. Every turn, frickin' Megalos and she jump in and bitch slap everyone.
罠
I wonder who the third fight is. Holy flip. Flippity fluckin' fluke. Alright, let's switch in Skahak to take this biatch out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Sounds like a good deal to me.
星の宇宙に物見の歌楽園の端から君に聞かせよう罪なき者のみ通るガーデン・オブ・アバロン
I didn't notice that my video on Tifa talking about whether she was censored, period, has her, what is it? Has like 800 upvotes to like 400 downvotes or something. It's like pretty staggering amount. It's because it's controversial. People probably didn't even watch the video where I talk about how I actually like Tifa's outfit. But nonetheless, censorship be censorship. And that's all been confirmed with the whole ethics committee thing and their goal to strive for realism. Oh! Owie. Did I know we were gonna do that? But yeah, they're saying we wanted the game to be realistic, and it would have been weird for Tifa's busts to be flopping about without a sports bra. So they're like, we need to make it more realistic. I'm like, oh. So if all the things you insist on being realistic, instead of the fact that Barrett's running around with a gun arm with no ammo clips to speak of, the fact that Vincent transforms into a damn vampiric monster, and yet his clothes come back once the transformation finishes, the fact that Cloud's twiggy little arms can handle his massive buster sword like it were a toothpick. You know, yeah. Yeah. That beeth an issue to me. That's selective realism, and the only reason it's an issue is because you deem floppy boobs are more dangerous than, you know, whether it be blood or violence or any other weird, fantastical thing that Nomura tries to put. This is Nomura we're talking about. You're trying to make him be realistic when his characters look like they came out of, like, Hot Topic meets The Matrix. And again, the argument has always been silly, because Tifa in Dystopia, the last time we saw her there, was... Oh, he ran away! Pussy! Pussy! Alright, well I guess that means I'll just save this lovely little noble phantasm for your face, Penthesilea. Good times.
夢のように片付けよう。
では
行くぞ。
いいとも。
And so no, it's not a matter of whether you like the Tifa or not. New Tifa is beautiful, new Tifa is kick-ass. That is not the issue. The issue was the changes from this Tifa to the last Tifa we saw her as. At their roots, they are. Oh, well, Herc's jumping into... I only had to kill one of them? Oh yeah, this isn't the final fight against her. I didn't even have to touch Musashi, hardly. Wowzers. That was actually pretty cool. I liked that fight. It was easy as piss. With my team of god slayers and swordsmen. Damn it, I'm spent. Uh-oh, Captain. The ship can't take any more of this. They're coming from above. Master, this way. Run away! Roar! Roar! Friggin' berserkers. Master, Master, please hang in there, Master. Good night. Sleep tight. What you up to, baby? Give me my quartz, bitch. True name revealed, Penthesilea. Ooh, outrage, Amazon. Now we know its name. Wouldn't that be crazy if her noble phantasm was, like, weaker until this moment in time? And now it's better. Who knows? Unpaintable beauty. Dragon, dragon, fuck the dragon, dragon balls. Did I freeze it again? I think I did. Hello? It's like fireworks. Alright, we gotta restart. Stupid son of a bitch! Silly game. I know it hasn't been the series theme for years, but that's what I used to make fun of it as, because I'm not a huge Dragon Ball fan. Forgive me. It's personal. Well, no, it's not personal. It's just... Well, I guess it's personal. It's my personal preference. Oh, good. You're up, Master. How are you feeling? Does it hurt anywhere? Just a little headache. I think that's because you weren't getting any oxygen for a bit. You know what you do for injuries like this? Ouchies be gone. Pat, pat. Did that help? Anyway, I'm glad you woke up so fast. My lap must be a super comfy pillow, huh? What's that thing jabbing me in the ear? Oh, that's my dick. No need to be embarrassed. My prayer is more likely to have had healing properties than your lap, Astolfo. prayer don't work. Not on me. Unless we're talking Martha. She's crazy enough that I would actually believe it. Good morning, Master. I'm glad to see you weren't injured. Come on, another day awaits. Wait, Fergus is not quite so durable as you are. We should first give her time to grasp the situation at hand. Can you stand, Sarah? You seem all right to me. Good. Can't have you dying on me just yet. Indeed. How about you not die? Let me sit down for a moment and collect myself. Where are we? What happened after everything? Our ship was destroyed in the aftermath of their battle, and we were all washed overboard, including you. Of course, we tried to pull you out of the water, but the river's current was kind of weird. I mean, it'd have to be, right? Normally it'd be pretty easy for a servant to hop on in and bring their master back to shore. But instead, we were unable to fight back against the current and ended up here. And unfortunately, none of us is clear on where here is. Given the river's flow and the lay of the land, I believe we must be somewhere in the East Lake, but I'm afraid that's all I can say. I never would have guessed a place like this could exist here. I mean, a castle in the middle of a lake? There appears to be a dome of some sort surrounding this place, protecting us with air. I imagine it's a form of magecraft. What a strange place this is. I'm not even sure what to call it. Underwater castle? Lake bottom castle? This has gotta be the Dragon Palace. Oh, hey, I remember that place. Didn't Tota tell us about it one time over rice with a side of rice? I know of it too. It's a place that appears in old Japanese tale. In an old Japanese tale. I think Tota said he'd been there once too. Who the fuck is Tota? But, I don't know. Okay, the Dragon Palace it is. Now, anyway... See anything weird, Master? Hey, Master, you might want to take a look at the rock under your butt. Under my butt? Your butt, your butt, your butt! I'm sitting on Heracles. I want a rock! Roar! No need to worry, Sarah. He's not moving anymore. Since he's been gravely wounded in our prior battle, the other berserker, Penthesilea, right? Anyway, that must have given her enough of an advantage to come out on top. That said, the last time I saw her, she was covered in cuts and bruises, and yet somehow he still doesn't have a scratch on him. It's odd that he has not disappeared, but instead appears to have simply ceased functioning. I am uncertain whether he will awaken or not, but for the moment he poses no danger, so we thought it would be good for you to sleep on him. Of course, we could always lop off his head now just to be certain. I'm sorry, but even as I am now, my warrior's pride simply won't permit that. It just feels wrong to you, huh? I can understand that. At any rate, we have left him out here to serve as your chair for the time being. Nope, 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 nope. So, now what? There are fewer Resistance members now than ever. Only a few of them washed up here with us. Well, that Master's woken up and all. How about we explore the palace thing? I mean, we gotta get out of here and all. And there could be some cool treasure inside. Haha, treasure, huh? I like the sound of that. I wouldn't mind finding some sort of trinket that could turn the tide for us. Why don't we ask Mashu to find a way out of here? Oh yes, I almost forgot to mention this. Unfortunately, it seems we have been temporarily cut off from Chaldea, so we cannot ask them for anything. Of course, I do not know if it's because we are underwater or if it's something else. Regardless, I also believe we should explore this place, Master. Standing around chit-chatting certainly won't get us anywhere. Good point, in that case. No need for that. You! Who beeth this? Okay. Wowzers, that was a lot. I may or may not be streaming some more on Wednesday. I probably will. I'll probably stream Wednesday. I don't know how long, because I'll have to prepare for a flight in the morning on that Thursday, so we'll see how things go. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to OtakuDaiKun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, let's plays, and the Holy Waifu Wars. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.